Hello. Welcome to the daily political tarot and astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. I am here literally every single day of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have epic troll slayers who have kept us safe for years, and we have got a fantastic community because of your kindness. You have been so kind to each other, so kind to me. Thank you. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. I timestamp them as I go, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed, whatever works for you. Hi. Yes. Because of this, and because I've got to be careful how much weight I've moved the brace, this desk is very shallow and very long, which is why there's a big cat bed on it. But so I took an old broom handle and cut it down, and it braces the middle of the desk, and I've had to move it to the front to handle the weight. So we're going to jump right in. Oh, Bernadette says, look how organized she is. I wouldn't expect anything less. Actually, the sad thing about this is these aren't all of them, and these are my unfinished novels. But that's not what we're talking about today. I wanted to give you, Turinda says, you better run and hide in Justice Barbie's looking for those files. Oh, boy, are we... Anne says, oh my gosh, you got the Epstein files. Whew. I says, look how they're all locked together with binder clips. Otherwise they won't sit upright. Okay, anyway, so we're to, oh gosh, I can't. I'll just remember, it started at 2 minutes, okay? Remind me later. I can't reach the keyboard. Okay, so here's the thing. You know, there are some Epstein files that have amassed over the years with all of the depositions, all of the accusers, all of the victims, all of the potential co-conspirators, perpetrators. Yeah. Well, it turns out that, let's see, it's July. So let's see. March, April, May, June, July. Okay. A new report confirms basically, all right, here's, let me back up. There are over 100,000 Epstein-related files. 100,000, over 100,000 Epstein-related files containing more than 300,000 pages of data. So the Epstein files have over 300,000 pages of data. Okay. Back in March, there was rumblings, but now it's been confirmed that back in March, over 1,000 agents of the FBI and the information, I don't have it in the notes here. Basically, government agents, FBI and other and secure government agents were tasked in 24-hour shifts to very hurriedly, FBI and DOJ, Amy, exactly, to very quickly comb through all of the documents. And this was in March, and log, they had one job, log every mention of Trump. That was their job. That was their entire job. 1,000 workers. And they had one job to go through all of these heinous files and make a spreadsheet that was not particularly secure, and to make a log of every reference to Donald Trump while he was the president. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there because I will. Wow. The second question we're going to go over is, did they just make the Democrats' job easier? There is an Excel log and, ready for this, training videos. I can't make this up. And it says 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Oh, my understanding is they wanted this fast, so people were on like stupid shifts, stupidly long shifts. But there are training videos on what to do. Those agents were shown trainers explaining the process of flagging instances of Donald Trump appearing in the files. Those videos went out because they were in such a hurry. Those videos went out on unclassified networks within the Bureau. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, I need to move these off the desk so I can read on the questions, but wow. And let me reiterate, there are over 100,000 Epstein-related files containing more than 300,000 pages of data. Yeah. All right, give me 1 second. I'll put these on the floor. I just want to give you some kind of idea of what we're talking about. Because it's easy to just throw around numbers of, oh yeah, it was like this. No. This is a big deal. Did I see my name? No, I do not have the Epstein file. My stomach couldn't handle the Epstein files. Dear God. Okay, and there. Okay, yeah. Sheesh. Oh no. I don't have a blanket. Sorry. Let's grab this one. Okay. To muffle the card shuffling. Can get kind of loud on this desk. IKEA's finest. Although actually, I've never gone looking for this particular desk. It is very shallow. It is very long, or wide rather. So it's shallow, so I can be closer to the windows for light, and it's super long. My mother bought it years ago. It's super long, so I can fit a whole bunch of stuff, including a big old cat bed. All right. Whew. Cindy says, how to fold a quilt. I love this show. Could be of service. Any service. Okay. All right. We got Old Faithful here. This is banana. This is crazy banana pants. Seriously. Yeah. This is insane. They had our law enforcement people, our workers in the government, on our dime, doing overtime to flag every instance of Trump in the Epstein files. Thank you, stars. Oh, yeah, I'm very, very careful. So, we need to make sure this has legs. We need to make sure this sticks. Oh, I have an overlay. There we go. Okay. Hello, Beekeeper Tarot. Really, this is so ludicrous. If it wasn't, do you know who really broke this story? The woman behind Mueller, she wrote. She has a lot of good contacts in the government, and she was hearing all kinds of rumblings until she was able to get some people on the, anonymously to speak up about it. And so she's gone to I know that Raw Story was reporting it on it this morning, but there are other, big news places that are going to pick up on this. Yeah. So, oh, is the far right disappointed? Duh. Oh, this is all human level. This is stupid. This is a bunch of spoiled people, including Trump, but this is left unfinished. There wasn't enough security on this. You're trying to do something this boneheaded, and you can't even manage security. Rose Blue, thank you so much. Suing the Wall Street Journal means Trumpstein won't go away. Trumpstein. Yep. Thank you. There's Kash Patel, who's the head of the FBI. There's Patel Bondi, who is the head of the DOJ. King of Swords, and two of Cups. So here you've got your prosecutor, and this is the your prosecutor, your law enforcement, and here is the partnership, basically letting it be known that this is happening. Night Moon Glow says, I love the overlay. If a cat was guarding those files, we are good. Cats are magic. Cats are magic. I really liked this overlay just for these people doing these crazy hours. And if there was a cat there, the cat would just be like, oh, all right, I'll be here. I'll be asleep. And of course, you can't put paper down without the cat immediately going, ooh, and lying down in the middle of it. So, wow. That's true. Melissa, Streisand effect. Yep. Pups are magic too. That's true, Sandra Lee. Boneheaded. Absolutely boneheaded. Okay, I feel like I need to read on. Okay, so that was at 2 minutes. And so at 13:50, at 14 minutes, I feel like I need to read on Patel and Bondi. Yeah, this was about as dumb as you can get. Caesar says the first story I read said Dick Durbin was informed of the FBI flagging Trump in the Epstein files. Perhaps Allison Gill from Mueller, she wrote, informed him. Could be. James is asking, where are your shoes? Pardon? Oh, I'm barefoot right now. It's the middle of summer, so. Durbin asked in his letters, who made the decision to reassign hundreds of New York field office personnel to this March review of Epstein-related records? Durbin asked in his letters. Thank you, Terry. Oh yeah, Joy. Wasn't there something like $1 billion wired to Epstein from Dumpy? I don't have the details here on that, but I'm sure if we don't talk about it today, we'll be talking about it tomorrow. So Patel and Bondi. Wow. I'm telling you. Planets going into retrograde means they're double checking what happened before. Yes, dear. You can come up here. Come on. Amy says, the Marx Brothers visit the FBI. Who? You know, since I do this every day, sometimes I get wussy cards. Like, this topic, that topic. This isn't wussy. All right. In the same way that the fish rots from the head, the stupidity starts at the top. Hi. How are you doing? You doing okay? Dumpy was worried. Sleepless nights. Star. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so you make a terrible window. Yes, I adore you, but you make a terrible window. There we go. Yes, dear. Just, okay. Here, get some rest. Okay. So, Dumpy was having sleepless nights. This is like Pam Bondi. Could be Patel. But this is, we'll give you hope. So we'll go do this thing. I don't think it's going to end well, because the last two cards are the Death card and the Emperor. Yeah, I don't think this is going to end well for him. Major Arcana. Mm-hmm. CC Ryder says, meanwhile, on Earth 2, Tulsi is referring Obama officials and Grassley is revisiting Hillary's emails. Yeah. Good luck. Yeah, this is not going to end well for him. Rob says, cards yesterday and today on fire. Yeah. Three for Bondi, 3 for Patel. Oh, world card. Ending. Truth card, and the world card. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Did they think they could do something at this scale and nobody was going to find out? Nobody was going to find out. And you did it. You were sending out the training videos on just across the FBI. No, I was going to do 3 and 3, but it's kind of much of a muchness at this point. They're going to try to clean up. But we're loyal to you, mein Führer. What's the German word for orange? And does it come before or after Führer? Mein Führer. No, this was bad. But you were hurting mein Führer. And we'll work hard. We'll work. And we'll move all these resources. Yeah, there's going to be there's going to be an investigation into this at some point. Unfortunately, Democrats do not have power right now to do a lot of this stuff, but this isn't going to disappear. Oh nay. Patricia says they were not thinking, obviously. Kat says, how to obstruct justice 101. I'm sure they will try to say, but there wasn't. Amy says, the orange? Oh, I meant as in the orange Führer. Thank you, though. Does it come up before or after? Because like in French, wouldn't it be le roi, R-O-I, Roy, le roi d'orange, something like that. So it would come after, but here in English would say orange Führer. Oh, Nita's nook said orangefarben Führer. Or Jean Hall says the Orangenführer. Just demolishing foreign languages. That's just what I'm doing while I apologize for mangling your language. Three more, because I'm just getting, you guys messed up. Catherine says, Oranger and Führer. Amanda saying the Nuremberg trial took nearly a year. They'll all have their day. I'm putting it out there. I like your thinking. Maria says, Orangefarben. There you go. What? Yeah, morons. What were you thinking? Do something. Yes, we'll go. We'll go in secret. It'll be. We'll go in the quiet. It's not really the secrets. It's just quiet. And make sure nothing comes in. Hey, we'll make sure your secrets stay secret. We'll make sure. Don't worry. I like Tropicana Tyrant. That's a good one. So 2240, did they just make the Democrats' job much easier? How do you have training videos? There is an Excel log. Now they have an Excel log of in the times that Trump comes up in over 300,000 plus pages of the Epstein files. There's now an Excel log of every time Trump is mentioned. Thank you. Okay, thanks. And there are training videos where agents were shown trainers explaining the process of flagging instances of Donald Trump appearing in the files, and those videos went out on unclassified networks within the Bureau. Thank heavens, they are as stupid and incompetent as they are. Veronica says, show me more. I know. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Can you imagine one of those videos? Can you imagine what one of those videos is going to turn into on social media? And then make certain that you click here to conceal any wrongdoing by the president. Just hit this button. Now we've just made it easy for you. We've put a little piece of tape over it, and where it reads Watergate. You just hit that and protect the president from his own actions. Oh, the story was leaked. Yes. Well, leaked on purpose from them? No. TJ says Vance might be behind the leak. Well, it was coming through the woman behind Mueller, she wrote, who still has connections within the government. That's where the information came from. So Senator Lee says, I believe they are deleting them. Oh, that would be a whole different, that would be a whole different jail sentence, prison sentence. Yeah. Spiritual Hack says, they need plausible deniability, and it ain't here. Agreed. Bismuth says, it'll be like those McDonald's training videos I had to sit through when I worked there. Yeah, I got those at, I had to sit through training videos at Barnes & Noble. And I can't remember the name of the owner, one of the owners actually made the training video. And I knew I was going to like working there when I was sitting in the break room and and I'm watching the little TV and watching the training video. And one of the managers walked through, and let's just say the owner's name was Ron. I don't remember his name, but the manager as he walked through just said, get a shave, Ron. Just kept going. It was cute. Anyway, yeah, but really, yeah, it's all laid out, and we're just like, thank you. Is it Christmas? Oh, okay. Just give us it's all laid out. It's perfect. Just, it is invisible to everybody. Here. Come here. Because he's an idiot, and behind that is, okay, this is just goofy. The cards have been nuts. Okay, I have the cards laid out here for what I'm reading, okay? This is the card for the reading. I'm trying to get more information, right? It's all there. Give it to me, because of this fool who's going to be in a lot of trouble for absolute disgusting corruption. And we're not going to put up with it. There's going to be temperance. Oh boy. Queen of Wands. Patel Bondi. Whoever had these stupid ideas. Wheel of Fortune. It was just a matter of time, you morons. Day late and a dollar short. You couldn't keep that to yourself? You couldn't keep that in-house quiet, really? The right is already angry. And we don't know who to trust. Really? Really? There's boneheaded, and then there's... Kathleen says, what are we going to do about it? Well, there are Democrats. Durbin is the main one, who are calling for this too. It's like, okay, we need that information. There needs to be oversight here. And there are some Republicans voting along with the Democrats. Not many, but there are some. And yeah. Hey, Sharon says, I had the boring training videos at BK, one for every time you move to a new station. There we go. You've done your time in Barnes & Noble too? Oh, no, BK, Burger King. I'm sorry. Move station. Okay, I understand now. I'm sorry. I don't know why my brain was thinking Barnes & Noble. So, Democrats are definitely going after this information. And let's say the right is burdened with it and all of that, and then doing something that's not a good look. Not a good look legally. That's a thief card. So, yeah, we'll take that, please. All that nice hard work. Yeah, we'll take that. they can't keep this secret. They can't. You good luck. Good luck. They can try to drag their feet for a while, but you can't. Yeah, you can't keep something like this hidden. That's a big no. Okay. At 30 minutes, 35 seconds, 40. How panicked is Trump and the administration right now? Because I've heard the word is they're very panicked. And Dumpy, this came out last night. And so Mr. Delusion himself spent his night sharing videos of Obama being arrested. Okay. All right. Mr. President Blunderdum. Okay. Obama has absolute immunity for anything he did while in office because of you. And he didn't do anything wrong. You did. But now you're going to go into your little fantasy world where all the people you don't like, bad things happen to them. I'll just stare at these videos of Obama being arrested until I make them real with my mind. Uh-huh. Panicked. Administration. Yeah, they're throwing everything at the wall they possibly can. But her emails. We need to look at Hillary's emails again. We need to go after Comey. We need to go after Obama. We need to go after Biden. We need to go after anybody. How about our country's stronger without you in charge? Just saying. This is just small. This is like cockroaches. This is all minor arcana. Feeling beaten up, out in the cold, afraid that things were left undone. Oh no. Close the barn door after the horse has gotten out. And then page of Cubs, the Democrats will get stuff. And there's adding insult to injury. And this is all minor arcana. And it just feels, you'll notice it's relatively, well, this is a 9. That's an 8. But these are not the big, strongest cards. This is cockroaches when you've turned the light on. Yeah. Claire says, doesn't that mean Biden and Clinton have immunity too? Bill, yeah. He did something while in office that he can link somehow, that they can link somehow to, that it was in one way, shape, or form. It was any part of their duty or job. Oh, the stupidity. Oh, the boneheadedness. I'm really looking forward to seeing Hal this evening. Hal Sparks. I will be there. So, but we're not done. And we're done with that part, but we're not done. Oh, there's more. At 34:30, Chris Kuhl had a question about Bill Barr. 34:30. Bill Barr was the AG in charge of the DOJ, the FBI. The FBI? AG? Oh, okay, AG in charge of the DOJ. FBI, all search, seizure, and evidence collection when Epstein was arrested. Okay, basically, Bill Barr was the AG. That's yeah. Let's not get into the details. Bill Barr was AG, was in charge when Epstein was arrested. Okay. Later on, Dumpy and President Blunderdum and Bill Barr, I thought Barr quit, but apparently it was a matter of one of those things like, you leave before I fire you kind of thing. Okay. So later on, Taco fired Barr, but Taco rarely, if ever, badmouths Barr. Isn't that interesting? Why doesn't Taco seek revenge against Barr for saying the 2020 election was fair, like he goes after all the others for the same reason? Probably because Barr knows where the bodies are buried. Writer says he resigned. Well, that's what I thought too, but apparently word on the street is it was a mutual parting of the ways. That's what they're saying now. There's the government. That's my card of evidence, all laid out. Secrets. I'll get to that in a second. Refusal to listen to the victims, to listen to evidence. So Barr's sitting pretty, right in the middle. That's why Trump hasn't gone after Barr, because Barr had Trump's back where it counts, and Barr knows a lot. And let's do a 5-second recap. Who was the last official who talked to Jeffrey Epstein before he died? Do 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 do. Caesar Ryder says, I'm not finding that he said he was fired in the transcript from January 6th. Only read half of it. I don't think he was fired. It was one of those, I want to say that Barr was getting uncomfortable with a lot of this stuff leading up to Jan 6. And he was like, I'm going to dip out. But the upshot is, the important part of this is, Trump doesn't go after Barr. And I think we can guess why. Rob says, wait, don't tell me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So there is a link in the description box. I wish the name was here. Let me go grab it quickly. Because there is a woman who deserves to be listened to. Open. What is her name? Okay. Stacey Williams, that was it. Stacey Williams, now 57, dated Epstein more than 30 years ago. Whew, long before he was arrested. And she has been basically screaming from the rooftops for a long time about how awful. Cindy says Trump called Barr fat and stupid, right? Okay. I'll just. Okay. The upshot is that Trump hasn't gone after Barr in the same way he's gone after some others, and I think we know why. But if you think that he has, awesome. I am not perfect. So anyway, you're welcome to ignore my last reading. Okay. So Stacey Williams, who's very pretty, by the way. Link is in the description box. And this is her. Very pretty. Stacey Williams, also very brave. So she dated Epstein, and she will not be quiet. She will not be quieted. Thank you, old silver frame member. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Okay. So Ms. Williams is saying a number of things. Epstein's ex says he and Trump had a very close friendship and were up to no good. And that Epstein allowed Trump to, let's say, touch her inappropriately right in front of him. She's been trying to tell her story since before the last election cycle. And people weren't listening to her. She says, I want to point out that I was polygraphed before I did all of this by one of the most renowned examiners in the world. Epstein confirmed to Michael Wolff what the two of them did to me. I was dating Jeffrey. He was always talking about Donald. It was his bestie and everything. And he was joking about how Donald thought I was hot or whatever. Epstein said, let's stop in and see him. So we went up to Trump's office in Trump Tower, and within a couple of minutes, Donald was outside his office, and his hands were all over me on various body parts, while the two of them kept having a normal conversation. Yeah. And she's been saying this. When it happens to you in broad daylight in an office with assistants walking back and forth, you're in shock. If it happens in a dark alleyway, you fight back. But when it's brazen like that, which is Donald Trump's forte, you go into shock. So I froze. It was over very quickly. It was just a few minutes. That sounds like a long time to me. Then we got back in the elevator and Jeffrey's energy had changed. She said Epstein was enraged by the incident, shouting, asked, why would you let him do that once they were outside the building? Okay, just, yeah, okay, gross. Will people start listening to this woman? Emma says, that's going to take more than a shower. I know, right? Serena says, freezing is a normal response followed by fight or flight. Yeah. And how many people have been at work when somebody did something inappropriate? But it was just inappropriate, but didn't quite go quite that far. And you just, there's nothing you could do about it because you needed your job. Chris Cole says, Neptune and Saturn waltzing through retrograde cleanup on aisle 45 of all that slipped through the cracks. Exactly. That's what's going on, where all of these planets are going retrograde, including right now we have Mercury in retrograde, and Mercury is in retrograde in Leo, which is the sign of kings. And so remember, Pluto went into Leo, started digging up everything to do with, think of kingship. What is it? They're dictators. They're autocrats. And Pluto went into Leo in 1939. Talk about digging up everything to do with these kind of autocrats and what have you. Well, Mercury's in retrograde, so pulling things up out of the past. Mercury in Leo is the king's messenger. the king's herald, the king's messenger. So the fact that this is coming out now makes perfect sense astrologically. Phew. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Bernie, exactly. It's Mercury retrograde. Unfortunately, it's not late in Mercury. It's down around, I think about retrograde at 8 degrees. And Trump's Mars and ascendant are in the late Leo. Yeah, 8 Leo. Mercury's retrograde at 8 Leo. Yeah, so they're not conjunct, but they're still in the same sign, so they'll have an effect. And it's in Trump's 12th house. No, it would be in his first house. So it's going to be right up front. Yes, it's going to be right in his face. So this isn't going to happen behind the scenes. Yay. Okay. Yeah, this poor woman. Knight of Cups, Chaos, Three of Cups. We need to support her. She needs to be, we need to actively listen to her, and because it adds to the truth. If there are accusations against somebody, but there's something like this kind of conduct, if there was nothing else that even remotely hinted at that, it would be like, ew. But he said it himself. It came out of his big ugly face. I believe her 100%. That's fact. I believe her. Giovanna says, these toxic men always blame the woman. Yeah. Yep. Judy says, I just don't get how all of this has been out there forever. They voted him in anyway back then. Now it's an issue. I don't get it. He gave them an excuse to be afraid and angry about the other, to blame the poor, to blame the immigrant, to blame anybody of color for their own lack of opportunities or their situation. It gave them that kind of, he gave them this back of the brain, lizard brain. Up here, we know people are people. They're individuals. They're good people. They're bad people. And your skin color, it means nothing. Absolutely nothing. But that's up here. We know that. Back here, we had our little clans, our little groupings, and anybody from the outside was suspect because it was dangerous. And it's still back there, and that's what he appealed to. What if you're right? What if that part of your brain that you have not evolved past emotionally, mentally, what if it's true? Follow me, and we'll... Yeah, permission structure. River Mist Fae. I love that name. So he gave them that opportunity, and all he asked was, follow me. You have to. We're going to be attacked for saying these things, because you've been attacked when you said these things. But if you follow me, if you're faithful to your king, we're going to say these things together. And that's a pretty powerful. When you can tap into the back of the brain, that can be pretty powerful. But it's why the rest of us are like, are you stupid? No, they're just not using this part of their brain. They're all tapped into this. There's not enough. There's not enough. There's only so much. And it's being taken away from us. It's being just given to them. That's why he's in power. But now, Chris Cole says astrology may indeed have kept their minds closed until now. They're just starting to awaken in recent times. The times they are changing. Yes, that is definitely helping. Definitely helping. But, and the other thing is their foundational story, which was the Democrats are not only awful, they're horrible communist policies, but have you heard about what's going on in the basement at the pizza place over here? Have you heard about Bill Clinton spending time with Jeffrey Epstein? Just feeding into that the other, hate the other, hate the other. They're the other, hate the other. And just feeding and feeding and feeding that. And they were willing to overlook everything bad about Trump. Oh, he's just being attacked because he tells the truth. No. But they're slaves to this. More, well, I mean, to some extent we all are, but not. But if you have any emotional intelligence, if you've spent your life trying to learn and meet people, then you start using part up here. And then you start realizing people are individuals. So that and it's the astrological thing is why the change now, and the other part of it is simply Trump stopped that train. They had fights with their family members. They had all their holidays became very uncomfortable. They lost touch with their kids, their grandkids, their friends. They went through all of this because they were right. They were right. And the Democrat, it'll come out. And Trump, they push this. It'll come out. The Epstein files, the list, it'll come out, and it'll prove all of these Democrats are. And also, that's back of the brain thing. You protect kids. And then suddenly Trump got into power. Okay, this is great. He was in power before. Doesn't matter. Okay, now we're gonna do this. And Trump said, yeah, no, nothing there. Go away. After a decade, just poof. So now there's like the Wall Street Journal released that letter with the icky drawing, that disgusting thing. And Gutfeld on Fox, bleh, he was saying you can't let the Democrats turn you against Trump. He's trying to pull. There are a bunch of them on the right. They're trying to pull people back in. No. You got to trust Trump that he knows what he's doing. It's not a democracy. Remember, it's a republic, and you put Trump in that job, so you've got to trust him to do the job. Yeah. Anyway, Chris Cole says they believe Taco. Suddenly, Taco refuses to satisfy their desire. Yep. Cindy says they released the letter. Didn't see that. It's gross. It's really gross. Because anyone who would portray a woman as being absolutely nothing but a torso from here to upper thigh and nothing else, and sign their own name as, let's just say, a part of the anatomy in the nether regions. That's how he views women. It says it all. And then the letter itself is all about, we have secrets. We have something in common. Yeah, anyway. Kathleen says, you don't have to believe this garbage. Oh, to them, to the other side. So Bismuth says, "Oh God, Gutfeld." I have an uncle who loves the show, and when I watch him, he watches it. When I visit him, he watches it religiously. Oh my gosh! And not only do we dislike Gutfeld, if you watch Hal Sparks and he covers anything Gutfeld does, Gutfeld calls himself a comedian. Hal takes offense at that. And what's the rule? Well, what are the two rules? One, don't make the comedians mad. Two, don't make the witches mad. Very simple. So, my stomach is upset, but bleh. Okay. We need to cover this before it. This is important. At 55 in the year 50. Both Gorel and Nettie were saying that there's talk that Justice Alito wants to step down. It says Colbert is a comedian. Yes, he is. Justice Alito may want to step down before midterms, according to MSNBC. Because while it's unlikely, there's a possibility Democrats could get control of the Senate. It is a possibility. And if they do, then Trump is a lot less likely to get whoever he wants to replace Alito in. So Jody is saying, and if their witches are comedians, look out. Yes. So Justice Alito going to step down before the midterms. Just me says, big news, Obama judge gets the Wall Street Journal lawsuit in Florida. I'm sorry, but I'm excited Cannon didn't get it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mwah. Yeah, the judgment thing. Interesting. Yeah, Alito. Yeah, we could potentially make some serious inroads in the midterms, because we're all going to go out and vote, right? We're all going to vote, right? There's a thief card. There's a tower card. And Trump's base of power. So they're afraid of what could happen on the Supreme Court. So is he actually going? And the thing is, it's almost, it's just as likely he's being pressured to step down as he is. It was his idea. Arlen is saying gut slosh. It is gross. Yeah, there's the ending. Sitting pretty, not listening, and fool. Yeah, it may happen. He would find another Alito. They just would. We knew this was a potential. So, yeah, it's not surprising. Of all the things going on, that's actually not. I'm not going to lose sleep over that, because it's just replacing one with another. He might be younger, but it's going to be one gross. Oh, look, the gross man is leaving. Long live the gross man. That's all that is. Don't lose sleep over that. It's not a step back. So, all right. It is 1:17 p.m. here in Chicago, and that's going to do it for me for today. But at 3 o'clock, I will be over on the Creative Sprints channel. As always, you're always welcome. We just want to encourage you on what the projects you want to do. It can be absolutely anything. We just want to encourage you and give you a space to go to. So it's very easy, depending on what you're doing, it can be very easy to not work during that time of day. No, I'll go sit down. I'll go take a nap. I'll go. No. Come join us. Come join us. We're gonna try to be productive. So, all right. Other than that, I'll be right back here tomorrow. I'm here every single day, and I have been for over 5.5 years. So, please remember, you're not alone. We are in this together, and there are good days ahead. All right. And we'll do more news with friends tomorrow. All right. So take care. Thank you. Thank you.